In the NBA, talent matters, skill matters, but sometimes, height changes everything. Imagine standing 7 feet tall before you even tie your shoes. Imagine walking into a gym and instantly becoming the center of attention. Not because of your talent, but because of your towering shadow. These are the giants of basketball, men whose height became their superpower. And sometimes their burden. From players who could dunk without jumping, to shot blockers who turned the paint into a no-fly zone. These are the 10 tallest players in NBA history. Boban Marjanović isn't just tall, he's towering, standing at 7 feet 4 inches. But what makes Boban special isn't just how tall he is, it's how the world reacts when he walks into a room. Everywhere he goes, people stare, cameras rise, and players tilt their necks just to greet him. Boban doesn't run onto a court. He enters like a skyscraper in motion. In Detroit, in San Antonio, in Philly, in Dallas, fans loved him not for dominance, but for his heart. He's efficient, he's humble, and he's one of the tallest, most charismatic players to ever touch the NBA hardwood. At 7 feet 5 inches with an 8-foot wingspan, Victor Wembanyama isn't just tall, he's unreal. Wemby moves like a guard, shoots like a wing, and blocks shots like he was born to protect the rim. When he dribbles up the court, you don't see a tall player. You see something basketball has never seen before. San Antonio Spurs didn't just draft a player, they drafted a future. In his first season, he blocked shots without jumping, caught rebounds over players' heads, and knocked down step-back threes like he was practicing alone in a gym. He is the blueprint for the next era of basketball. Standing at 7 feet 5 inches, Bhullar wasn't just tall, he was massive. Born in Toronto to Indian parents, he carried an entire country's hope on his shoulders. He wasn't just trying to make the NBA, he was trying to make history. And he did. In 2015, when he checked into a game for the Sacramento Kings, even if it was just for 16 seconds, Bhullar became the first player of Indian descent to ever play in the NBA. The crowd didn't cheer for a stat line, they cheered for a moment. A moment where millions of people halfway around the world finally saw someone who looked like them touch an NBA court. Bhullar didn't just play in the NBA. He made history in 16 seconds. Chuck Nevitt stood 7 feet 5 inches tall. He didn't dominate the league. He didn't rack up highlight reels. He didn't even start many games. But he became one of the most unforgettable big men the NBA has ever seen. Because Chuck didn't need to talk trash. He didn't need to prove he was the tallest. He simply stepped on the court, and everyone already knew. Coaches called him the human victory cigar. Because he only checked in when the game was already won. He wasn't the star, he wasn't the franchise, but he was part of something every player dreams of. In 1985, Chuck Nevitt became an NBA champion with the Los Angeles Lakers. Shawn Bradley was towering, standing 7 feet 6 inches. Opponents didn't drive to the rim when Bradley was there. They thought twice. Because for a moment in the 90s, Shawn Bradley made the paint the most dangerous place to be. He blocked shots with ease. He altered shots just by raising a hand. At his peak, he averaged over 3 blocks per game, one of the highest marks in NBA history. But here's what most people forget. Shawn Bradley didn't play basketball to be famous. He played to inspire. Born in Germany, raised on a farm in Utah. A quiet, humble kid who just happened to be taller than almost every human alive. Standing 7 feet 6 inches, Yao wasn't just a basketball player. He was a bridge between worlds. Born in Shanghai, he carried the hopes of over 1 billion people the moment he stepped onto the NBA court. No player had ever arrived with more eyes watching. When he debuted for the Houston Rockets in 2002, the arena didn't just cheer. It felt like history was unfolding. Yao could score, he could defend, he could pass. And for someone nearly 8 feet tall, he had the footwork of a forward. He became an 8-time All-Star, battled Shaquille O'Neal in legendary matchups. He was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2016. Yao Ming's number 11 jersey was retired by the Houston Rockets in 2017. Standing 7 feet 6 inches tall, Slavko Vraneš was one of the tallest players to ever touch an NBA floor. But unlike most giants on this list, his NBA career lasted exactly one game. Drafted by the New York Knicks in 2003, but waived before the season even began, Slavko fought just to find a spot on a roster. Eventually, the Portland Trail Blazers took a chance. For 3 minutes, Slavko Vraneš stood in the paint. No points, no rebounds, just a moment. Standing 7 feet 6 inches, Tacko is one of the tallest players in NBA history. But what makes him special isn't just his height, it's his presence. Born in Senegal, Tacko didn't pick up a basketball until he was a teenager. He didn't grow up in elite training academies. He didn't have access to world-class coaches. All he had was a dream. At UCF, he became a fan favorite, blocking shots like swatting flies. And when the Boston Celtics signed him, NBA arenas turned into something nobody expected. It didn't matter if he played 2 minutes or 20. People loved him, not because he was tall, but because of how he carried himself. Manute Bol stood 7 feet 6 inches, his arms stretching higher than most players could jump. He didn't just block shots, he erased them. But his story was bigger than basketball. He grew up herding cattle in Sudan. And yet, he became one of the greatest shot blockers the game has ever seen. Manute once blocked 7 shots in a single half. One season he had more blocks than points. But here's what truly made him legendary. He used his NBA money to help people in his home country, donating millions to protect families during a time of war. Manute bought food, schools, and hope. He didn't just stand tall on the court, he stood tall in life. And now, the tallest player in NBA history is Gheorghe Mureșan, 7 feet, 7 inches, the highest height the league has ever recorded. But his story isn't just about being tall. It's about rising from nothing to the very top of basketball. Born in a small village in Romania, Gheorghe didn't even know what the NBA was. He didn't grow up dreaming of fame. Doctors once told him his height came from a medical condition. When he finally reached the NBA, he didn't just show up, he dominated. In 1996, he led the league in field goal percentage and was named Most Improved Player. He was 7'7", but somehow moved with surprising balance and touch around the rim.